26 years of marriage, husband wants to divorce me after my cancer diagnosis. We have been married just shy of 26 years. I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma 2 years ago. At first, he was wonderful, a total helicopter husband. The first couple of rounds of treatment were awful for me. I suffered from all possible side effects. In October of last year, I received the bad news that another line of treatment had failed and started my third line. So far, I have tolerated it well. However, my body has suffered. I have a large plasmacytoma on my chest as well as several collapsed vertebrae in my back. My back is hunched due to this, and until I can get my bones strengthened enough to hold the screws, I can't undergo the back surgery to straighten it. I have been on fentanyl patches along with several other pain meds, oral chemo, etc. I'm not sure when it started, but my husband stopped coming to bed and began sleeping on the couch. He wouldn't attend doctor appointments unless I specifically asked him to go. He wouldn't give me hugs, and if he did, they were half-hearted. I started saying things to him, and it seemed like the more I explained I needed his love and affection, his support, the more he made a point of denying me. Finally, just before Christmas, I confronted him about it. But he just shut down and stonewalled me. The more I pushed for him to talk to me, the more nasty he got. Finally, he got angry and told me, "Congratulations, your worst nightmare is going to come true. You're going to die alone," while I was crying and pleading for him to tell me what was going on. What was wrong? What had I done? He screamed at me that he didn't want to be married to me anymore. That was New Year's Eve. He left that night and has only come home to pick up tools or stuff he needed for work. He stopped paying my car payment and it got repossessed. He hasn't made the mortgage payment. Thankfully, the power is still on and he hasn't shut off my phone. I am on disability through my former employment, but it isn't nearly enough to support me. We have 2 dogs and 5 cats that I have to take care of. I am not physically able to do most household chores, though I do the best I can. He still has not told me what the problems are in our relationship. All of this has blindsided me. I knew that neither of us was happy because I was sick, but I didn't think it was our relationship that was the problem. Up until he left, he would call and chat multiple times a day, still saying "I love you" and all the normal things. But almost subversively punishing me too. How does someone who has loved you for over half our lives suddenly become so vicious and uncaring? He was a sweet, affectionate, protective husband until he wasn't. I can't wrap my mind around it. How does he justify it in his mind? Sorry for the bad grammar, spelling, and rambling. I'm a crying mess. Top comments. This is the saddest thing I've ever read on this sub. Do you have support from others, family, friends? People who could help with the animals? Things like grocery shopping or help with treatments. I'm so sorry this has happened in your life, honey. Opie's reply. No one close, unfortunately. I'm hoping I will be able to move closer to family and friends once the divorce is done. Depends on how much the courts award me in support, I guess. That's part of why I am so scared. I'm used to working and making decent money and now I can't. I'm completely dependent on someone that I can no longer depend on. I've never been so scared and heartbroken, not even when they came into the room and announced I had cancer. I knew I'd be okay because I had him. I'm so angry reading this. What an absolute shit human being. God. You deserve so much during this time. Have you reached out to his family at all? What do they think of this? Can they give you any insight? It's mortifying. I hear you. You were seen. You deserve to have family by your side through this. I'm just so incredibly sorry. I can't comprehend how anyone could do this to their worst enemy, let alone their sick wife. Love from one stranger to another. My dad left my mom when she was diagnosed. It was so heartbreaking and destroyed my relationship with him. Contact your trustee's office and Catholic charities to help with the utilities and mortgage. Get a lawyer immediately and get a temporary plan together. There's usually state programs to help with utilities, apply to every type of aid possible, Medicaid, SNAP/food stamps. I am so sorry you are going through this. It's okay to ask for help. Make a GoFundMe or have a close friend start it for you. My ex-wife of 25 years did a similar thing. After my lung disease diagnosis, she did a slow fade and eventually, after a lot of unkindness towards me, left. Conversely, my dad was 100% there for my mom when she was deathly ill and is still there for her 14 years later. We don't know who we or our spouses are until we're tested. Sadly, your husband and my ex-wife was tested and has shown he's not there and is actually cruel in sickness. I'm so very sorry. Therapy was my savior, as was being my own best friend. And lots of journaling. I'm not religious but also read the New Testament because the man Jesus showed a lot of courage/forgiveness as he faced death, and that was inspirational to me. I am sad I devoted 25 years to a person who failed me. But I'm grateful that I eventually learned who she was. How sad I would have been going to my grave with someone not worthy of lifelong devotion. I'm grateful that life eventually opened my eyes. I hope you can find your own peace or meaning in what happened to you. My heart goes out to you. In every way.